All right, hey guys, Jason here, and what we're going to talk about today, which one? The pack seat turkey chair or the pack seat original? Which one? Because when you follow, if you're in my Patreon, you're going to see that when I was on my Midwest three-state, 24 days of hunting kind of thing I did out there, one of the states I went to, these things were a lifesaver because they were very limited on tree options. I actually killed a deer out of this one that I hunted with, but I got a chance to use both of these quite a bit when I was out there, and so did John. Okay, John was hunting with me from Tactic Saddle, and again, he makes saddles, and he got there and he went, wow, this is going to be an adventure here. What are we going to do? So he ended up using these as well too, so quite a bit. So we use these quite extensively on that trip. So and I've done a video that's going to explain the size differences. I'm going to go out there and sit on them. I did all that. It's going to be at the end of this. So if you watch till the end, in the last 30 seconds of the video, there will be links in the corner to show you this stuff, okay, for the insider details on the differences when you're sitting on them and stuff. Today what we're talking about is which one should you buy, when to use them, okay? My answer is probably going to be a little shocking and upsetting for some people, but in my opinion, honestly speaking, I think you kind of need to have both. If I were to only get one, could only have one, it would probably be for my Georgia hunting would probably be the turkey seat. If I could only have one and I lived in that place where I was at for that last hunt, it would be this one. And there's certain situations where both of them shine. Okay, I mean, it's, it's just one of those kind of deals. See, when I got this one, I bought this one. I wanted this, and I bought it, and I paid money for this, and I got it, and he sent it to me, and I loved it. Well, then he told me, he said, hey, we got the turkey chair. Why don't you try out the turkey chair? I'm like, I don't turkey hunt. I don't need a turkey chair. He said, well, I'm going to send you one for free. You check it out. Let me know what you think. And he sent it to me, and I used it, and I was like, you're not getting it back. I don't care if I got to pay you or whatever. You're not getting it back. I want it. He said, keep it. But I love this turkey seat here in Georgia. In a lot of the other states, in other states and in certain situations, it's nice to be up higher. In certain situations, it's nice to be down lower. So, for example, down here in Georgia, where a lot of this stuff is open bottom country, and then you're working with palmetto and things like that, and you're going to hide in little palm clumps or a blowdown area or something like that. This thing shines. You are lower to the ground. You can tuck in high or down in there very well. You can really be hidden. You don't feel so exposed. Now, when I hunted with this down here a couple times in Georgia, before I had this, I was like, God, this is great, but I wish I could be a little lower. This one gives you that option to get lower. However, when I was on that trip out, I'm not saying what state I was in, okay, you know it if you're in my Patreon stuff, you'll see it coming up, but when I was in that state, in that situation, I was like, God, I got enough cover here. I don't want to use this. I did, but I'm like, I'd rather use this one and be up a little bit higher to see better and have that a little bit better vantage and a little more comfort being up higher rather than almost sitting on the ground. I'd like to have this one out here better, and it would work. So it makes it kind of complicated. So when I go out there next year, and I'm going back to that same state next year, I am making sure to bring both of these, okay? They both shine in a lot of situations, but out there, this one, because of the amount of cover that I had that I could hide in, this one really shined. I had cover. If I'm hunting a place without a lot of cover, and I gotta rely on hunkering in low and using what little low vegetation is available, this one shines. So you see what I'm getting at here. It's not a one size fits all. Could you make it that way? Could you make the situation work? Yes. Okay, you could bend over blowdowns, tie them down. I talked about that in my Patreon course. I've taught you guys some of those tricks. There's a lot of things you can do to make the cover there when you don't have it. Even taking, you go grab a piece of a bush or something there. You take a blowdown. It just fell over. It's still got branches on it. Just take your knife out. On one side, on the other, snap the log over, and now you got a perfect V on there. Stick it right in the ground in front of this thing, and you got cover, okay? So we got all those kind of options to create cover, but really, like I said, if you were to ask me right now, sell me one of your pack seats, I couldn't tell you which one to give you, okay? Now, living here in Georgia, if I never left Georgia and I only hunted Georgia, I would keep this one this would be my main one. hunting these other states, even when like when I was out on my other, like last year in the other states I was at, I hunt a lot of Midwest states. And in those, this one would shine in most of those situations over this one because, again, the availability of cover. So every situation in your surroundings are going to dictate what's going to matter best for you or what you're going to get the most out of. Now, when it comes to packing animals out and doing that stuff, they both do. This one does have the pack shelf capability where you can actually turn this into a dedicated pack shelf here, okay, and pack your animals out on this shelf on the backside. This one, you don't get the shelf that runs through, the seat doesn't fold through on a turkey seat like that, so you're not going to get the, you're not going to get a pass through on here, but people say you could just switch the shoulder straps around and put it on this side and do it there and carry it on your shoulder this way. You can do that as well too, or you can do like I would do, which is just run, and you see I have this set up for packing animals out, which would be just to take this and use it as an actual dedicated, unwrap my stuff here and just strap all my gear or lay this down on the ground, put my game bags on here, put them to sit right in here, use this as an outer rail, let it sit on there, strap everything down, and it will hold all of that game bag perfectly on this too. So there's no, both of them will work for packing animals out completely without question. I don't think one's easier or better than the other for packing animals out. You can see the height difference of them when you're packing them. Okay, there's a smidge. I think it's a half a pound of weight difference between the two of them. So you got those kind of things, but they both shine in different situations. And I honestly, like I said, I noticed that tremendously on this trip, where there's so many different worlds out there that honestly, in my opinion, I think having both of them is a tremendous asset. Now, if you're somebody who only hunts on the ground a little bit, buy either one of them and they're going to work great for you. If you are a dedicated ground hunter, somebody who's going to spend all their time on the ground, hunting religiously on the ground, I honestly think having both of them is a major advantage, especially if you start hunting different areas. If you hunt exclusively in your one area or your specific corner of the state where you're at, then you know which one you're going to want, and that one will work for you. But when you start venturing other places, having two of these, having the option for both of them, it may not look like a big difference here, but it is tremendous. And they both shine incredible. I don't know, maybe someday Tim will run a combo deal or something on there where you could get both of these. Where if you're buying both, you get a certain discount or something. Or I don't know if you ever would or anything like that. But in my opinion, having both is the right way to go. I am very glad that I have both. And again, especially with this particular state I'm hunting in, and if I start hunting more states like that where I have to basically be on the ground because you don't have the trees, having two of these is a gold mine. And John said the same. We talked about it quite extensively out there. Which one would you rather hunt out of? Man, I don't know. There's times where that getting down low really makes you feel like you're hid in and you're tucked in real well and you feel secure, like nothing could see you, and you can get by with a lot less cover. He said, but then there's those places where you're like, I got more cover than I know what to do with, where this one would just be more comfortable, more upright, let you see over some of that higher cover, have a little bit more ease of getting up and out of if you got to move. He's like, God, they both carry like a dream. They're both simple. They're both lightweight. They're both functional. He's like, I would have both. I agree. And realistically, you could have both of these for the price of one of the most, what these new, God, I can't stand frickin' widows. Or recluses. But anyway, two amazing options right here. Two amazing pack seats that will work straight up flawlessly. And in my opinion, it's kind of worth having both. I don't know how else to word it. I know it sucks. I know somebody's hoping it. I would say this one all day long or this one all day long. Either one will do what you need to do. Having both of them sure does make hunting on the ground a lot better and a lot easier. I don't have any other way to put it. They're both worth their weight in gold, and together having the options of both of them, they fold up to take up zero space. Okay, it takes up zero space to put these in the back of your truck and have it so you can choose based on where you're going. It's kind of a gold mine. It really is. It is just such a brilliant way to be able to dictate what you want and how you want to run them. you know, what you want to do with them. But I mean, they're simple, they're functional, they're right there. I'm going to get the same setup stuff that I have on this one. I'm going to get another set of these Lone Wolf, or these XOP, or these are Lone Wolf custom gear, but I'm going to get another set of these backpack straps by somebody, and I'm going to do the same exact setup I've done on this one right here. I'm going to do to this one. That way I have both of them set up exactly the same. I thought I would use this one a lot more, and I'm finding myself out there in the Midwest using this one a lot more. So I want them both set up identical, and I'm glad I got both. Hopefully a video helps you choose or make your choices, but in my opinion, it's literally worth having both of these. Now when it comes to fishing and sitting around camp and sitting in my wall tent, this one wins hands down. I like the extra height, it's chair height, it feels good, and that's what I use this one mostly for, fishing. Okay, we use this for fishing, we use this, you know, we use this as a camp chair and a fishing chair all the time, and I straight up love it. This is the one that I use for hunting the most down here in Georgia, and it's perfect for that. So, but this one in the Midwest shined. So, because we had the available cover, we didn't need to be down low on the ground like this. So, anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.